Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. I just got home from Long and mcquade in North Bay. Had to pick up a few things, but while I was there, I was actually looking at a Katana 50 to see if it was rentable. Turns out they're not. And I did want the 100, of course, and they knew I did. And I didn't even see this on the website as being in stock. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just try and rent a 50, and check one out. But anyway, turns out they did actually have a 100 in stock, so had to buy it. This is something that I've been waiting for since I saw it come out, and so let's see what we get in the box here. Alright. Oh, this is looking cool. Oh, got a power cord. It's nice opening up a brand new toy. Oh, well, that reusable, is it? Maybe yes. Oh, I guess you could reuse the Ziploc. Cool. All right. Power cord. Okay. Okay, so you got to supply your own USB cable for computer hookup. So we do have the usual manual and the GASC panel stickers. If you're going to get the foot switch, which I don't know if I will or not. Hard to say. So they've changed the top label thingy on it. So now they don't tell you what effects are on the first couple channels. But they do say over 60 fully customizable effects. Simple and intuitive to use, custom designed 12-inch speaker, onboard presets with easy access, extensive foot switch controls, stereo USB recording, 5 variations for each of the amp channels, 5 independent effects selections, power amp in for preamps and multi-FX, stereo expand for wide spatial tone, 100 watt models only have this, and more. So I'm going to leave that on there. I tend to leave these on the amps. So just to give you a little bit of brief of the update here, we've got the variation type button, and we now have a lot more control over the effects. Now before in the Katana Mark I or Katana Originals, we had one dial for baud and for booster and mod, and one for FX and delay. Now we have twin pots, and which also gives us a lot more range as well over the effect, so more control even at the same time. So now you can have your booster, and now you can go past 12 o'clock and you're not on the mod, okay? So now if you want to add the mod, you can add the mod starting wherever you want, and you've got full range control. So that's something we've all been wanting. It's something that, well, I feel, and I'm sure many others do as well, that Bosch should have done that in the first place. because it would have made more sense, you know, because we want to be able to use multi-effects at the same time. It will be very interesting to see the new Boss Tone Studio app to see how it's going to work. You know, now we also have buttons over, these are buttons or lights? These are buttons actually that do light up. These are, oh okay, so these are your buttons for switching through, you know, like 1, 2, and 3 type of deal. 4 channels, of course, on the top and the panel as well, so, you know, call it 5. And of course you'll get multiples within each one, and you're going to get a total of not just the 5 across, but or even the main 4 channels. The main 4 channels you get like 8 because everything's doubled, right? At least that's what I'm assuming we're going to have, because, you know, part of our last update in the original Katana was instead of having 4, we now had up to 8, because we just had to hold down the button and we get access to the other ones. Now we still have 100 watt mode, 50 watt, half a watt, and of course standby. Kind of acts like a tube amp in a sense too, because what it does is it cuts off the speaker, but it'll still output, especially if you're using a line out feature. Now the 100 watt model has, and above, has a line out jack on the back. So let's take a look at our back panel here and see what the changes are here as well. So we've got effect, loop, and send. So return and send. We've got a stereo expand for on and off, which that's going to be kind of cool to hear that. The GAFC, the USB. We have channel 1, 2, bank A and B, foot control. I wonder if I can use my foot switch that I have now for that. Headphone record out, separate line out. So if you want to go into, say, a mixing board for in a PA system, so if you play it, you know, on your in your church on a worship team, and you want to go out, still have your onboard speaker, but also go line out to the system because you're going to record. Plus, going out to the house better as well. You can do that and use this as a stage monitor in that effect. In the studio here, I would use the line out to my mixing board so that I could, you know, do my recording that way. This way, I also don't have to mic up the amp, which is great. And we will do some videos with miking up the amp versus the line out as well. So then we have power amp input as well on this thing, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, our main input jack up top. So that looks like something that'd be pretty neat so far. I'm really liking the looks of this sucker. And, of course, we do have that Katana big 12-inch speaker in this thing. So she's a bit of a beast. Now, this was $4.99 Canadian at Long & McQuade. So if you are in Canada and you are looking at Katana amps, I would recommend dealing with Long & McQuade, because they also do have outstanding performance warranties that you can buy that are renewable every year forever, which goes above and beyond manufacturer's warranties, of course. So anyways, I deal with the North Bay store because they're closest to me. They're only like 20 minutes away from me, so that's not a big deal. But if you're not in Canada, or maybe you don't have a Long & McQuade nearby, if you are in Canada and you don't have one nearby, you can also buy online too. They have a website, you know, but and they can certainly bring stuff in from other stores if you need it. If your store doesn't have something in stock that you want, but another store does. And of course, they do deal new and used. Anyways, that's enough about Long & McQuade. I want to get this puppy cranked up and give her a spin myself, and get the studio app put in, see how well that's going to do. Now, I do have macOS Catalina, so I don't know if Catalina is going to be friendly or not with this yet, but we are going to find out, of course. If not, I will have to use my PC laptop, so you will definitely hear an answer on that. Now, the other, in the amp types, it's the same as before. You have acoustic, which is an acoustic preamp. Okay, there's still a lot of people getting mixed up over this. The acoustic channel on the Katana amps is a acoustic preamp switchover. So it allows you to safely plug in an acoustic electric guitar and not cause damage, but also at the same time, it will allow you to be able to hear that guitar amplified the way it's supposed to sound. Because if you switch over to the clean channel with an acoustic guitar, Not entirely advisable, but you'll hear a dramatic sound difference. Your guitar is not going to sound very good. Then, of course, you have your crunch, your lead, and your brown channel on this, and you have the variation switch for each one of those amp types. So that'll be interesting, even going through the acoustic channel to see. So look forward to a number of different videos on this amp because I want to keep the videos short for you guys, but at the same time get as much across as possible, right? And so we'll do that for sure, and I'll give you a tour of the Tone Studio app as well for this amp, because things have changed apparently. So yeah, definitely looking cool, and so far I'm really liking the thing. I mean, it looks just like a Katana Mark 1, but you know, it's not. It's the Mark 2, and a lot of changes have been made, guys. So anyway, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Stay tuned. We're going to get this thing powered up and get her going, and also find out what effects are actually going on with the default setup on this thing, and we'll run through them. One of the things that I also, before we go, I've been hearing a lot of is there's some controversy on this, but to get the absolute best out of this amp, some people had said, you know, crank the volume, the one beside the gain, to full tilt, and then use your master to run the rest, of course, along with your gain. Now, I like to keep my gain at 9 all the time, but I'm going to try having the master actually be the one that goes all the way full, and then using just the volume, and see how that works out. Because there will be a noticeable difference, I'm sure, in sound, as well as, you know, how it's going to output as well. But anyways, in the meantime, we'll go through that. We'll figure it out. Stay tuned for more videos, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Ciao.